talk a little bit of tea. We're going to talk about the Coachella drama, but we're also going to talk about the good stuff, the Coachella reuniting of Blink-182 and the Coachella Knocked Loose pit.
Yeah.
So we are continuing to be a very emo podcast, emo content creators. We talk about emo music, and so we're talking about Frank Ocean.
Yeah, of course.
Who's well known for being emo.
Yeah, he's pretty emo. He's pretty sad boy. Makes sense.
He's so sad.
Yeah.
He's so sad. I don't know. He might be, but I don't personally listen to Frank Ocean very much. I've never really got into the music. I've heard a lot of people really like it because he was headlining Coachella for this past weekend and the weekend upcoming. When we're recording this video, it will be upcoming. It's a little bit of a review and a preview of Coachella. So he was supposed to, well, he played the first weekend of Coachella. He was the main headliner on Sunday night. And things just didn't go good, man. Things just did not go good. So he showed up an hour and a half late. He was on his Morrissey arc. He could not show up on time to play his set, and then just kind of like phoned it in. Didn't feel good. There was a lot of people saying that like he was supposed to do more stuff, but then didn't pan out, didn't do stuff. A lot of the stuff was like kind of alleged and kind of like unsure about all of it. And I don't know how much I really believe.
Yeah, like one of the biggest rumors that was out there concerning his set was that apparently it was supposed to be like on an ice skating rink that they had set up like, days before, like that earlier that morning. And that same morning, Frank Ocean called in and said, I'm not fucking skating anymore. I don't want the skaters. I don't want the ice rink. Drain it, which took the entire day.
No more ice rink.
No more ice rink. So they drained it, and that's why some people were saying that, like, the dancers that were circling around him, they were like, this is like a cult thing. And I'm like, all right, let's calm down. I don't think we can calm down here, guys. But they were like, this is really weird. It's not set up right, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, like, that makes sense if they were supposed to train to be ice skaters, and they're just kind of, like, going around, circling him.
Circling around.
Circling the drain.
What a dance. What a dance.
But as a dance.
Yeah. TikTok went wild on this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's TikTok and children. So as we now have the news, Frank Ocean has pulled out of the second weekend of Coachella, citing an injury. So let's watch a little video on that.
Time now for the tea where we break.
Again, we are not really shouting out Liquid Death that much. But, we're going to talk tea. And I'm drinking a little bit of Liquid Death's iced tea. This is not a way of like, transitioning into an ad. But if it were, it would be a really nice transition. And, think about it, Liquid Death.
Break down some of the buzzy stories people are talking about. I love that word, buzzy. And for that, Will Gans is here, as always. Buzz, my friend.
Good to see you.
What do you got?
Let that rocket. The music.
How do you feel about old media, Lizzie? I'm kidding. Let's just fucking keep going. This is going to be cringe, but whatever. What the fuck ever.
It did its thing because I have a lot to tell you about today, Phil.
Let's do it.
We begin with breaking news.
Nothing exploding.
Nothing exploding, but some explosive headlines, of course.
Why is this not
From
us?
Coachella, as it's about to enter its second weekend, headliner Frank Ocean is officially pulling out of the festival.
I'm just pausing on the screen because what the fuck is going on?
Were you unaware about this thing?
Yes. 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 First of all, I don't listen to Frank Ocean, so I'm not really following things, not really looking at things.
This is like red carpet fashion.
Yeah, he's also like not a super public dude. He doesn't really he hasn't released anything in like 6 years, right? Or something like, or it's his first performance in 6 years, but he hasn't put out any music in like 9 years, right? Yeah. So the fact that like when they pull up a photo of him, it's this one. It's like, yeah, I guess we ran out of photos. Like all cameras stopped working and all we have is this one left. Green little baby.
This was the only one. This is the little neon green little baby. I mean, they're like, ABC has not been able to obtain any new photos. So here, look at this chaotic one. Anyway, this is us to understand Frank Ocean better as an artiste.
I don't.
Festival, citing an injury to his leg. Frank Ocean's set this past Sunday started an hour late. There was a plan for an ice rink that he scrapped at the last minute, and they had to melt the ice rink. And the pacing of the set overall from reviewers was all over the place. Ocean saying in a statement, it was chaotic. There's some beauty in chaos. It isn't what I intended to show, but I did enjoy being out there, and I'll see you soon. His spot, though, will reportedly be filled by Blink-182.
See, I'm not mad about that.
No.
I like Frank Ocean, but Blink-182 is a good follow-up.
For anyone who is a fan of music in the 90s, I mean, that's a dream come true.
Who isn't a fan of music in the 90s, by the way?
You're a big music guy. I know. Who would your dream Coachella headliner be?
Well, for you, I'd say Taylor Swift, but I'll go with Bruce Springsteen.
For you, yeah, of course. Well, maybe next year she'll do the Friday night, he'll do the Sunday night.
Perfect.
We'll take a trip.
Heaven.
I love.
This can't be us. This cannot be what we're like, man. Is this our repartee? Is this how we vibe? Is this what we do? Is this how men talk to each other?
This is how men in media
Ratatouille.
talk to each other. What do you mean?
I am willing to go out on a limb here and say that this is how gay men talk to each other.
I can't believe you're assuming their sexuality like that, bestie.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume it. You know what? You know what? Fucking come for me, Will Gans.
Okay.
That's how he spells it. It's not how it's
I
pronounced.
know, yeah. But here's the thing. Like, we could be the T. We could be them. Not exactly like that, but we could be better. We could be better.
I like how I picked this video to like react to,
I
and
know.
I'm the one physically in pain, and it's like, God damn, old media.
What did you think was gonna happen? It's like
I don't
basically
know.
E-News, but like
Yeah,
not
yeah.
E-News anymore, but like, you know,
I don't know.
news.
I don't know.
E-News.
I don't know. I thought it wouldn't be Green Baby. I thought
I mean,
there'd be a lot less Green Babies in that video. Generally,
a
it would
lot
be
less green babies. Listen,
Yeah.
and you know, they're excited. They're entertainment reporters. That doesn't mean that they not necessarily always know how to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear that
front-facing.
dude absolutely does love Blink-182, and I
Yeah,
would say
love that.
music from the '90s. We know
Listen,
that now. That was the
he
T.
knows, yeah. That was the entire T. I feel like it should be like their intro. Their intro is not something like this. I'm gonna be actually very upset. When the soup was on
McHale.
on E, and they had that like hold the soup intro, I want that to be the T. And if it's not that, they're failing.
We should just do Joel McHale reacts to everything. Where are you, Joel McHale? Please come
Joel
back.
McHale, where are you to literally save us from everything?
Music from the '90s, like Bruce Springsteen and Taylor Swift, 100%. They literally said, if you like music from the '90s, it's great, and then only named Blink-182.
Yeah.
The only band from the '90s. I guess Bruce Springsteen was technically around in the '90s because he was doing
he
shit
was like
before.
there. Yeah. I
But,
mean, I
like-
guess you could say like, yeah, you know that Smashing Pumpkin.
Yeah, you know what I'm like? Oh, throw on some '90s music. What I mean is Bruce Springsteen, right? Like that's what I'm talking about.
Listen, he's an old soul. Okay, they're in New York. Maybe he's a Jersey guy. All right, we don't know.
Oh my God.
Just remember, this was my aspiration when I was a kid. Is I wanted to be on E-News. On
Lizzie's
something
whole
like
thing
this.
was to be serving some fucking tea.
Tea all
Anyway,
day.
we just turned this from a like let's talk about Coachella news into let's review someone else talking about Coachella news. And so we
On a major
apologize to the
network.
members of ABC News wherever the fuck you are, and Will Gantz. I'm sure that this is much like Lizzie's your dream to be here, and you've achieved your dream, and Lizzie is still deciding if it's her dream or not.
Oh my God, Badger! I've never seen Anchorman, so I was
It's a fine film,
inspired by
but it-
I was inspired by the Newsroom TV show, which is very chaotic. And all of E-News coverage.
Woof. Anyway, that's that. So that's what happened with Frank Ocean. He's pulling out. He's saying it's like an ankle injury, which was some things that were being said as of last weekend, as of the first weekend for Coachella. So that makes sense if it is true. I don't want to like assume there's like some weird conspiracy here where it's like, sorry guys,
Allegedly.
my whole set sucked because I had a little bit of a cold. It's like, yeah, you know.
Like,
I heard somebody
interesting,
like,
but okay.
sorry, I've been on Ambien for 10 years. It's like I heard something like that. Like, it's like, okay, clearly he's just saying like, yeah, I hurt my ankle, so I didn't put on a lot of like a performance of it, but there's a lot of other pieces of it that for me don't make sense. It's all alleged. I don't really care. I wasn't going to Coachella. I'm sure a lot of people are upset, but what we get instead is, people who like 90s music get the privilege of seeing Blink-182 reunited. We knew this news that happened earlier in the year. But Blink-182 reunited with Tom DeLonge of Outer Space. And he came back in order to, reunite the band.
Yeah, the aliens decided to give him back for a little bit. Yeah. It was really nice of them, honestly.
Thank you, aliens.
And then I will say, too, spoiler alert, if you haven't already watched the set, he said, hey, thanks, besties. Here's Aliens Exist, which is one of my fucking favorite Blink-182 songs.
So this was their first performance back with Tom. This is the first time they've played as the original three-piece in a long time. We're going to watch a little bit of it. We're going to watch him play What's My Age Again? Thank you, Alien Ant Farm. We're going to watch them play What's My Age Again live at Coachella. I did not watch the live stream. I may try to watch it this weekend. We'll see when I'm around to watch it. But this is at least one of the songs that they have deemed worthy to be posted on the Coachella YouTube page.
To the stars, even. Listen.
I would have loved it if you wore like Angels and Airwaves merch.
That would have been funny.
Tom's work is done here. You can take a vacation by playing with Blink-182.
Gotta get that nice young PTO.
From in PTO.
Yeah.
He's an independent contractor. Finding aliens. I'm gonna be real with you. The auto-tune is strong on this shit.
Oh, yeah.
So fucking strong on this shit.
It's very strong.
And like, I don't know if that's a choice.
I really liking the 7-Eleven fit Mark Hoppus has.
So in general, I think the auto-tune was strong on this one. But I think these songs were written by children and they're playing them as like 50-year-old men. So it's not like I was worried that they weren't going to sound good, but they are 50-year-old men.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like similar to where Kenny Fasoli from The Starting Line, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to have this like literal like teenager like squeal or screech in my song. So like, it's just there, accept what it is.
Yep. Like at least Mark's voice was always pretty low. So it's not like they made Blink-182 songs hard to play or anything. Good on them. That's fucking foresight, you know? Like I'm not going to write
in the future. Megamind energy.
Yeah, dude. Tom was in the aliens and Mark was in the future.
And Travis is in like keeping up with the Kardashians.
Travis is just trying to keep up. Yeah, I mean, I think it is generally fine that Blink is back. I'm not going to say like, oh man, I'm so fucking stoked. Like Blink-182 was never one of those bands for me. So I think it's really cool that Tom is back. I really liked some of the stuff he's done with Angels and Airwaves more recently. So I hope that like their new record has really good songs on it. I have gotten really into Untitled since he left the band. So there's also that. I hope that they really want to bring back that like Jerry Finn era. We'll see, but it's a good thing generally that enough people care about Blink-182 that it's fine for them to now headline the whole Coachella festival due to Frank Ocean dropping it.
There you go.
Yeah, works out. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing that's happening on these major festivals is that they're putting a lot of these fucking heavy metal, hardcore, rock music, and it's popping the fuck off. Like no reason not to, because it is popping the fuck off. But I have some interesting takes about this. But one of the heavy bands, I think basically the only like metal, hardcore, like really heavy band that played Coachella, I will not fact check that, was Knocked Loose. They had a lot of fucking memes going on about them online on Twitter after this set. Some people posted it. Most of it got taken down. Yeah. So I think this article has some videos of it in there. Yeah, just a very like interesting thing that they're putting on like one hardcore band.
I mean, we've seen that trend every year. I mean, like when Transit played, I think it was like what 2015, 2016. There's like that iconic meme photo of a dude crowd surfing, and everyone with flower crowns are like, "Oh my god!" and like they're letting this dude fall, and it's like this biggest meme possible. I think we're still gonna see that trend because they have to like sprinkle it in like as a treat for I feel like everybody, or this is like a promoter or talent buyer like who works for Coachella being like, "This is for me."
Like,
This is for me. But also they are trending on TikTok right now.
Yeah, they're trending. Like people know who they are. Like it's certainly a big enough artist to play it. They are also playing Lollapalooza here in Chicago, so like
that's
they are big enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I
and
mean,
like
Lorna Shore last year was the big metal draw for Lollapalooza. I mean, I was getting out of one show pit and I was walking over and I heard them. And they were packed at this small BMI stage that they had. It's like literally surrounded by trees. And they were just like going off. And there's actually people like in the pit, which Lala's a 50-50 with. It's much better than Coachella. I've never been to Coachella, but I know enough about that look, tracks.
we don't like a lot of the music at Coachella, which is why we're talking about the two bands we actually probably would watch at Coachella and none of the other ones.
Yeah.
It is much more mainstream, Badger. That's correct. It's like having a local band for a lot of people playing on the largest concert stage possible.
Yeah.
So, credit to that. Like, obviously I don't understand why, but there are reasons that bands like this trend. One of them is kind of because people like Billie Eilish are into bands like Knocked Loose. There is like a new generation of kids who are like, I like the pop artists, I like the pop punk artists, I like hip hop artists, and I like fucking heavy shit. Like you can listen to Knocked Loose and be like, unironically, I'm fucking into this, and I hope they're playing a major festival, and they put on a better show than Frank Ocean. They're not a headliner.
And they can actually, I think one thing that also stood out here with Knocked Loose is that what everybody always complains about year after year when Coachella does put this one token heavy band on their lineup is that, oh my God, the crowd looks so dead. What Knocked Loose did was actually like kind of like teach people in the audience, like, this is how you crowd surf. This is how you stay. I think stage diving at fucking Coachella is wild. Mm-hmm. And probably very dangerous, but wild nonetheless. Because I know none of those fuckers are catching you when you're jumping off of there. I know that for a fact. But they're telling people like, this is how you mosh, this is how you jump around, this is how you do a push pit, like instructing them so they can actually kind of like enjoy it in a different way. And if you've seen some like the audience videos, like they do look like they're genuinely having a good time.
Yeah. It looked like, influencer babes are stage diving during Knocked Loose's Coachella set. So, it means that the integration is complete.
We made it, guys. We've made it.
Yeah. So we have here a little video of Billie Eilish watching it. Which, of course, my thought is like, how do you fucking know that's Billie Eilish? It's 5 seconds.
It's 5. You know what? Some people just know because they're a little bit too obsessed.
Yeah.
Let's.
I'm gonna press that again. We'll just see. Like, I guess.
I still can't really tell, but like, sure.
Billie Eilish was there. She performed with somebody else on that day, and so was definitely there. And I believe firmly that Billie Eilish probably does like some heavy shit. Like, I believe that Billie Eilish is a very well-rounded musical diet, like she's not just like, I only listen to the music like what I make. I think that's like really weird. And I think that's like, I'm going to scroll down a little bit more. We'll see a little bit more of their performance. It's the one that was going around, I think. It's not the one that was going around because it was the Arf Arf one.
But yeah.
Okay, it's real easy. On 4,
See, the kids are going.
They were instructed and they knew what to do.
Yeah, they said, I listen to rules. It's those types of kids, and that's okay.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I also don't listen to Knocked Loose because that scream, man. That scream. I can't do it.
Really?
Can't do it, man. I think it's fucking awesome that Knocked Loose played at Coachella, and I think it's really awesome that a lot of different people from different backgrounds were really into it. And good for you. But like, the fucking like high pitched scream I just can't do. And that's
Like, it's so different. I think that's why.
yeah.
Which is fair. Like, I mean, it's also hardcore. Not everybody likes hardcore. Different varieties of hardcore like that too.
Yeah. Maybe the high pitched voice is the reason everybody's so into it. I don't know. I've heard a lot of people saying like, hey, it was cool how, his voice, somebody said his voice is even higher live. And it's like, how are
How
you
does that
describing?
work?
So what you're saying, good or
Bad.
the way you're saying it, I don't know, but which one is it?
But please give me the answer.
Please give me the answer. So we have obviously Billie Eilish, who is now apparently like, oh, we're so surprised that like Billie Eilish would be at this Knocked Loose set. And I just find it a very immature, very high school, very middle school of like sort of like still segmenting. I talk about it a lot on here where it's like the genres are blending and they're all becoming very like integrated in ways like they're influencing each other. Everybody's taking a little bit from other stuff, which is a good thing. It is a positive thing. But I still think it's weird that we're talking about it like, why was Billie Eilish vibing with Knocked Loose? Billie Eilish and Knocked Loose collab when? It's like, dude, she just probably likes the music.
Yeah, people just can like music. Isn't that crazy? They can just be enjoying it. Well, and the thing is too, is that we see it a lot with like pop artists in general. So one of the biggest example is recently there was Demi Lovato posted Body Snatcher, which is also a really fucking banger of a hardcore punk band, by the way. You guys should listen to them. They go hard as shit. And when she posted it on her Instagram stories, people were like absolutely losing their minds. And they're like, can you believe she likes rock? And I'm like, did you not listen to her last album? It's literally a rock album. This is not new. Have you listened to any of her music previously?
Bro.
It's pop punk.
She collabed with All Time Low and Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
But it's because people believe that if you make one style of music, that's all you listen to. It's like people would get surprised when a hardcore band would be like, no, I fucking love like EDM back in the day. That was like a big one. And then all the bands started to do EDM. And it's like, oh, well, everybody likes EDM, right? We just assume that EDM is like kind of something that everybody is a little bit into in one way or another, a little bit. But like for some reason, we can't understand it that a metal band or a hardcore band would be something that a pop artist would like. Badger points out, I find it very strange the Billy part made the headline, right? Because the Billy part made the headline. And it's so strange for people to see that. And it gets your attention of like, why is this pop artist listening to what? You got a pop artist in my metal band?
Like,
Yeah,
can
dude.
you believe? Like,
Dude, it's like not that weird. And I don't see why it's weird. And like even this is like saying the deathcore band Demi Lovato recommended to Nita Strauss proves she has good taste. So the idea here is that Demi Lovato did not have good taste until people found out that she listens to a hardcore band and a good hardcore band. So very strange. Nita Strauss reposted it on her Instagram story to say that Demi Lovato just introduced me to this. And this riff is finger pinch emoji, steam nose emoji. Noise. This is sort of attributing Lorna Shore and Brand of Sacrifice to the deathcore genre getting a surge in popularity. Obviously, we grew up in a scene where it kind of always was. And like Bring Me the Horizon was like one of those big bands that is now like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. But of course, here we are where they're like, we're not doing deathcore anymore. I don't know. I think it's just very like, I don't know. Like you have these publications like Lamb Goat here where they're at least calling out, are there professional celebrities out there who listen to heavy music, but you wouldn't think they listen to heavy music? And I think that's like still just childish. It's like metalhead childishness, but also like everybody's childishness.
Right. Well, I mean, also like, remember a lot of these like entertainment based publications, like their entire strategy is to get clicks and to get people to respond. So it is going to be something that's clickbaity, or it might be their own react content that they're looking for. And it can sometimes be like inflammatory, depending on obviously how you
this
say
is
it.
inflammatory.
But I think it also still like comes down to the fact that like they're mainly kind of calling this out for the most part, or like writing headlines about it when it comes to like women and non-men.
Yeah.
And
Also
it's
true.
like, yeah, isn't it crazy that like we like hardcore music? Because there's a lot of hardcore bands that have women in it. Or like I go to like I haven't gone to a hardcore show in a hot second, but my friend Luke goes a lot, and then he'll send me video later of him crowd surfing, stage diving, and there's like non-men in like the pits and everything, like going hard. Like it's not insane to think that way, but it's like the
weird.
most clickbaity because of gender roles.
Yeah.
Blech.
Woman listens to man's music.
Sorry, I should have done a bleh. Really wrapped it all up there.
I'm gonna play a little bit of Body Snatcher.
Yeah, they fuck.
I have not listened to Body Snatcher. Demi Lovato did not text me about it.
I'm sorry, Bessie. I thought she had your number.
No. Unfortunately, she has not responded to my DMs.
So upsetting. They go
Yeah.
hard.
I also am like, this is maybe just me relating to something that I've been doing recently, is listening to a lot of like Attack and like the fucking like Joey Sturgis core of the
not the
late
Sturge
2000s. And it's like, okay, there were a lot of girls that were interested in that style of metal, like a lot of screaming, a lot of breakdowns,
yeah.
a lot of angry shit. And it's like, if you're going to be in that scene already listening to something heavy, there's like not a non-zero chance that you're also going to be listening to heavier shit. Like it just makes sense that like if you grew up in that era and you had like the Fall Out Boys and the Mike Hems, and then just like, oh, I'm going to dip my toes in a little bit of the Attack in the Asking Alexandrias, the Icy Stars, all those types of bands. It's like, yeah, you're going to probably get into some heavier shit too. Tracks.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's just like it's one leads into the other. Like, and there's just so many like musics out there, like old and new.
There's so
that are
many
like
musics,
this.
guys. Guys, you heard about how many musics there?
No, Brian.
You haven't heard about this shit?
Haven't heard about this shit. Let me tuck my shit.
Devil Wears Prada's another one. Yeah, Badger. Like they got
Yeah.
that Jesus angle. Like all these fucking little Christian kids that are like, I need my Jesus, but also
I'm a
want to be
hardcore
angry.
kid.
Yeah.
But I'm also angy. But
Yeah,
my
and, like,
parents won't let
Skillet's
me
not
be
putting anything
angy. Not the skillet.
Sheesh. So obviously we're filming this, we're recording this before the second weekend of Coachella. So I'm assuming there will not be any Frank Ocean drama since Frank Ocean is not playing.
Or there might be. Who knows? He
There
might.
might be. What if
What
all
if
these
he-
kids that were like, I bought tickets for Frank Ocean, now all I got is fucking Blink 182s
182.
or whatever.
Best I can do for you is a Blink
More
182.
like Blink 180 who, am I right? Got him.
Ah!
So ideally there will be no drama. Hopefully everybody will be very happy with the Blink 182 set. Did you watch any of the live stream, Lizzie?
Yeah, I watched like most of it up until like Aliens Exist.
Will you be watching it again this weekend?
God, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. If they're playing Sunday, I probably will have time to do that. So we'll catch it. You know, if there's any drama, you know where to come to, the fucking Emo Social Club, talking about Frank Ocean, I guess.